Okay, this is the next weekend of working on Nikki's bike. This is the third time we've gotten together to work. We've got it torn apart pretty well. We just got to get all this wiring off of here, a few parts here. We got to get this solenoid off of here, and the horn, because he's not going to use all that. And we have to take these forks off of here, and signals. I don't think we're going to use the forks. I mean these turn signals. I don't think we're going to take this triple tree off. It's in pretty good shape, and I think the bearings are okay. I tested those. We'll get this all off of here, and then we get these forks off of here, and we'll be able to put the frame down on the ground, and then maybe we can pull that engine off and set it to the side, and then work on this frame to get it painted. I think what we'll do is just cover up all this triple tree so we can paint it and not get paint on it. Well, that's where it stands. I got most of the wires marked what goes to what here. We'll try to take some more movies of everything. Here's to this little. This is the little solenoid. Goes red to red, which is pretty self-explanatory. Black, yellow, and stripey goes to there. So it's pretty self-explanatory. The only one I'm really concerned about, I don't know for sure, is this one. Came off the ground of the came off the ground off the battery, and I hooked it to this one because I didn't know where it went. It's only black. It's black and white, and this is black and white, so I assume that's where it goes. So we'll see. Well, this is the environmental thing. It needs to come off, and I'll set it aside. And here's the rectifier, and I'll take that off, and we'll set it over here on the bike and get it out, or out on the trailer and get it out of the way. So that's pretty much it. Well, we need to take all this stuff off up here and get the forks off and the light and all. So we're going to work on that this weekend. All right, we'll see how it goes. Day 3. Okay, I just took this little box. I'm not sure what it is, but it just slips on right there. Took it off. We're going to clip these. Go ahead and clip these things. Just don't clip a wire. I'm going to clip all these wire harness holders off so we get all the wiring off of here. Okay, there's that one. Just don't clip a wire. Whatever you do. Okay. This one up here. Okay.
Comes out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm just looking to see how they.
There it is.
Okay, there's that one. So we saw that came loose. This goes to your tack and speedometer. This has to come off. So we need. Is that Phillips screwdrivers?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a Phillips screwdriver. That's right size.
Yeah.
That's a solenoid.
Wow, we're going to have to put some stuff on that.
Not coming.
Can't hardly get to that one.
Like I say, don't strip it. Turn this off. We're trying to get the solenoid off on the other side. Got another Phillips screwdriver heads that are hard to get off. We got another little box right here. It slips on this little harness right here. I don't know what that is or what's for, but we're going to leave that on here. We're trying to get this off, and obviously it's held with this screw and this screw. I think it's a solenoid, but we got to work a little bit harder at it here.
What did this go to?
That's a spark plug. Okay, now we're getting ready to take this solenoid off, and I want to document where these wires came off. With this bridge here, on the right side is the red and gray. On the left side is the black and yellow. So I'm going to pull this off. I think I'm going to pull it off. Here it comes. There's the black and yellow one. And here's the red. And just remember, red and white, red, orange and gray one on the right side of this. Okay. There we go.
Get that screw out of there.
Now we're trying to get the horn off, and it's just as hard as the others. All these bolts are just locked in there pretty tight, but they're just two Allen head or Phillips heads that hold the horn on. We're not going to be using it, so it doesn't matter. Okay, with some struggling, we got the horn loose, and this is it. It's got a wire that comes off of this yellow this yellow hookup, and this. But we're not going to be using the horn, so Nikki's going to take the two wires off. The bottom one is what color is it? Blue and black, and the top one is red and black. So we're going to take it. Yeah, just pull them off. There you go. As we get more and more wires off here, we're exposing more stuff. Now this needs to come apart, Nick. If you want to go ahead and take that apart. It's probably got a release thing in there. Pull the boot back a little bit and see if there's a release.
Yeah, I think it's just this.
Just a push down, probably just on the edge there. There you go. And then this little gizmo here comes up off of here. I don't know what that is, but it's on one of those little. That comes off with that. Okay. Okay, we got most of the wire harnesses off. Everything up here. We're back to the ignition. And this ignition stuff, this is two green couplers. And this one's pretty obvious. It's got all the same colors on one side and same colors on the other, so I'm going to disconnect it. We just hope we're not doing something improper here.
Not getting that here.
Okay, there's that one. And this one I may be able to leave together. Or is it? Where's this go? What's this go
It goes
to?
down to the engine, I think.
What's that to?
Yeah, that goes into the engine.
Huh. Let's document what that is, because I don't know what that is. This is real good, isn't it, folks? Now we got a wire coming here. It goes down here and hooks on. Let me see the bottom of the engine here, where that goes in. It goes in down here, dives down here. It's got a spring on it. I'm not sure what that goes to. We can disconnect the spring here and take this loose right here. Or we could, I'll tell you what we might want to do, disconnect this coupler. That's the easiest thing to do, because that we still have it. We have it that way, it'd be on the engine, and it's all attached down there. As we take the engine off, we may have to take that off too.
Starter, yeah.
And here,
How do you take this off right here?
well, that's screwed into the starter. You have to take the whole starter off.
We can just take it off right there.
Well,
Take that off, sorry. I'll take the engine off and everything.
okay, what is that size? A 10?
10, yeah.
When in doubt, use a 10.
Where'd that 10 go?
I don't know.
It had to be in there.
Yeah, there.
Oh, here it is.
Where we take this off is off the starter. It's this black cable
The little rubber.
with the little rubber grommet, and it goes down to, actually it goes down to the solenoid that comes off the battery. So it's pretty simple. Okay, we got the, this is, what's this go to? We got the lights loosened here on the forks. We're getting ready to drop this fork off. We got the light detached, so when we drop the forks out, we'll pull this off at the same time, but the lights have to go with the fork, with this headlight. So we'll do all that, get all these forks, lights, headline off. Everything's detached from the back of the bike. What?
Pointing at the right place.
What?
Are you pointing this at the right place so you can see?
Yeah, it's wide angle lens. We did get the clutch cable detached back here. We're not sure how to change out this little adapter on the clutch cable. It definitely needs to be changed because it's so rusted. So we'll work on that a little bit. So let's get these forks off. Now there's oil in these forks, so we're going to keep them upright. I'm going to put a tarp underneath here And we'll put the grease in a bucket so I can use it.
27.
And it's a size 27. This is a little bit bigger. We're not sure exactly what size. No, it's bigger.
Bigger?
Yeah. It's a little bit bigger, so we're probably a 28 or 29. I'll have to do some research on that. All right, here we go. We're going to get started. Okay, we're getting ready to take this spring off the kickstand. And I just want to show that both springs on the bottom here and both up here, this tension's keeping this screw from coming out. This screw is loose on the other side, and it's real easy to pull out. So we're going to loosen the spring, and then we're going to pull that off and pull the kickstand off. And then at the same time, we'll take this rest bar off. Okay? So I just want to show that. We're taking the brake off, and we took it off of here, and this bracket, these brackets held it here, and this cable ran back to the actual brake, and we lifted it off of this right here. There's a little slit. There's a little slit right here we took it off of. But then it has an electronic thing here that I guess when you push on the brake, it's got to run the.
So it's actually showing something.
It's got to run the brake light. So this is spring actuated. So we're going to take the spring off up here and disconnect it from the electrical, and then I can take the electrical off the other end. Make sense? Okay. So we're going to take this loose here and here. All right. Just push the button one more time and it'll stop.
You can see the whole thing.
We're actually at a major decision point in our tear down. Do we or do we not take the engine off? We've got some corrosion here. We got to take this bracket off this clutch puller and replace this, but I'm not sure exactly how to do that. We need to replace this nut unless we just take it off and polish it and then put it and respray it and put it back on. We need to do some corrosive work in here. But we can just touch up the paint.
The frame down here is pretty jacked up.
But it's pretty well stripped down now. We left the triple tree on. I did some tests I read last night on how to test the triple tree for the bearings, and the bearings seem to be okay in this bike. They must have been changed out at some point, but when the forks were on there, I tested it seemed to be fine. So we got everything stripped off of it. We're down basically ready to start cutting frame parts. We got to cut these off to specifications by the Ryca people, and we have to cut this off for coming 1 and so many inches out here and here, and cut this exactly level here and here to put the flat seat. But we need our instructions, our kit, to get the directions on that. I think we're probably at a point where we just need to maybe think about stopping. We could grind these two off. I know for sure these come off. I mean, we could make the frame cuts because the directions are very explicit on the manual. Okay, documenting bolts and nuts and washers before we take the engine off. There's 2 washers came off of this bracket. I think that's for the shocks. One went on the inside, one on the outside with the silver screw. Those are coming off both sides. This down here, same kind of deal. It's just a screw, washer, nut, and then the axle back here. Pretty simple, straightforward. So I'm going to take all these out so we can work on the frame and clean it up once we take the engine out. All we really have to do is take this bracket off right here. 3 screws. 3 screws over here. There's, I think, 1 screw down here that has to come out to remove that from the frame. This bracket here has to come off, which will be simple. And I think there's 1 bolt. We've taken those 2 bolts off, so I think it's just, maybe that's it on this side. Anyway, oh, this bolt right here next to the, and we have to get to that so we can get to the clutch, and get that starter off and get that fixed. That bracket there's got to be reworked. All right, that's it.
With your phone, because you have a tendency to just hold it there and not.
Okay, we just took the swing arm off, which is this.
Full back.
Yeah, that's the swing arm. And this is the bolt we just took off. And actually the way it came off, that's not, it goes in on the left side, and you got your dust covers here on both sides, and you got a nut here. But the dust covers go right here and here, and they fit. This is a dust cover right here.
We know which side's the top and the bottom of that? Is that down? I think this is the bottom, because that's where the brake cable stuff was running underneath it, I think. Yeah, it is.
Okay. So if that's the bottom, this
Yeah,
has got to come out.
first of all.
Here, let me hold that.
I think that's right. Don't you?
Which side's got the dust cover on it? Well, here.
They both got dust covers on it.
All right. Okay, we got the engine off, put it on the trailer just in case we have to take it somewhere to have it checked out. I'm gonna do some research, see if I can't get the starter to ignite on this thing, just hooking it up directly to battery. I think it's just a matter of putting a charge to it, and it's not that big a deal. The frame, we just took it off and we degreased it and washed it, and actually it looks in good shape there. The only place where it has any problems is down here where the acid,
In the front underneath.
yeah, in the front a little bit underneath. So we probably just take a wire brush and hit that pretty hard, and maybe just re-prime it up a little, repaint it. Here's a little bit where the gas tank rubbed, but that's easy to touch up. The rest of the frame looks very good shape. All right, just letting you know where we are. Okay, here we are cleaning the engine. We've used this degreaser called Super Clean and sprayed it on the engine. We had to use some anti-rust stuff on a couple places on this engine where the battery acid dropped down, especially on this clutch arm back here, and the rust came off really nice. I'm really impressed. But this is looks good. Looks a whole lot better than it did. There's a little bit of rust down here on this bolt that holds on the pulley for the dry belt, Nick. We may want to put some petroleum or navy jelly on that. But the engine looks pretty darn good. We got some place back here in the back where the acid ran down the back of the engine and knocked the black paint. So when we paint the frame, we'll probably take a little bit of paint with a brush and paint that back on. But otherwise, it looks really good. Doesn't it, Nick? Mm-hmm. Talk to us, Nick. Look up here for the camera. Yeah.
Doing a number.
We're doing a number. This thing may never run, but we talked about it could make a nice art piece. We'll put it all back together, and Nick can put it in his living room and look at it, and that way he won't ever get hurt on it, and it'll look pretty, and Rachel won't have to worry about him getting killed on the darn thing.
Oh.
So we're going for an art piece. Looks good. All right. On the frame, there's just a few places that had some rust spots, so we just buffed them out. And we'll put some primer on it and repaint it, and it'll be fine. We left the triple tree on there because it's just too hard to get off. But anyway, that's it. Right. That's Grammy's garden tool. Okay, here's the post cleanup. Looks pretty good. Even the top got cleaned up in here and down in where the cylinder is, and all this. We put a little bit of rust remover on this bolt that holds the belt drive. But it looks really good. Looks really clean. I'm impressed. Thing did a good job. All right.